Well, hello friends. Welcome to A Sportsman's Life. Jeff Rice here. We're going to hike down the trail. We got the bow here. See if we can't put the smack down on a hog tonight. So, beautiful night. A little bit warm. 83 degrees right now. But a quiet night. I've had a lot of rain out here. But we're going to go give it a try. So, let's go get in the blind. Got a hog right in front of us. Look at that. Alright, we gotta go get set up. Well, walked to my stand, left them. I know which way they were headed, I thought. They actually were already here, so we're going back. It might be a spot and stalk after all. All right, stay tuned. Well, we're back on them, folks. Spot and stalk going on here. The wind is right for me, so to follow up from last week's show, we're continuing to talk about spot and stalk. I'm going to try to make my way down there and see what happens, so we'll do our best to bring it to you here. Alright, I'm sneaking on down. Still on him. Wind in our favor. He didn't like what he saw. He never smelled me. Alright, here we go.
Well, friends, I want to show you what I use for night hunting. This is the Wraith by Sightmark. It's a digital, it's not thermal, but you can use it for daytime hunting. It has a color mode. It's color during the day, and at nighttime for shooting hogs and predators out to, I've killed them out to 125 yards, but I sight in for that distance. You could shoot them a lot farther. Go online to learn more about the Wraith. You can go to sightmark.com and check them out. Absolutely awesome hunting tool for day or night. Well, folks, it is Luke Clayton, and I want to show you something right here that I am very, very proud of. My gearhead bow. I've taken a couple of hogs with it, and I'm deer hunting. I'm down at the Buck and Bass Ranch at a buddy of mine's, and I'm going to be deer hunting. Let me show you something here. Now, this is the coolest thing in the world, and I am the first time I have ever shot a bow with a shoot-through riser. I'm going to look right at you here. There's a riser here. There's a riser here. Look at the arrow on this gearhead bow, right in the middle. And if you think that doesn't make a difference, you know, for many, many years, me and I guess every other bow hunter been shooting one side of the riser or the other. This thing shoots straight through. Folks, check them out online. This is the bow that I hunt with. And I've got a lot, I love it, lots of confidence in it. Gearheadarchery.com.
Well, folks, one wrong step. I maybe pushed the limit there a little bit. A couple of young sows and then a whole bunch of yearlings. Wow, that was a fun stalk. I still see one back off in the distance. They'll make their way the other direction. I spooked them, so. That was probably, I don't know, I cut my camera a couple times, but I would say probably a 30-minute stalk easily, or more, just to get on them. I was close. I was about to put an arrow in, but I'm like, I don't have my tripod. So, where do you put the camera? I wanted to get that on film. Well, the odds certainly weren't in my favor. It is hot and humid, believe it or not, end of March. But hot and humid. I need to drink water. Well, I'm going to circle around. Maybe I'll head them off on the other side of the ranch. This spot and stalk stuff. This is just kind of a continuation from last week's show, but boy, I tell you what. If you've never done this, it is fun, it is exciting, heart-pounding, but you know, the more you practice, the better you get, but you've got to be stealthy. You've got to sneak through those woods and hope like heck they don't see you or smell you. Wind was in my favor right there, so it's perfect. My mistake was I walked on early on, went on to sit in the blind, and I thought, you know what, there's no corn here. They had already been there, so we just decided to do the spot and stalk thing, and wow, it worked out good. That was fun. Well, I know there's a little shaky video there, but I tried to get it the best I could for you, but you were front and center with me. A lot of fun here on A Sportsman's Life. All right, we'll be back. You know, that spot and stalk stuff, I tell you, it's addicting. If you've never done it, try it. It's challenging. It's very challenging. You know, find the animals, get on the animals, stay on the animals. Almost went to the blind. Thank goodness I didn't. I came back. Well, there was nothing obviously at that feeder as far as corn. That was all gone. But I wanted to come back and take a look just to make darn sure they didn't, vacate the area. And they hadn't. They were still there, right where I saw them. Slipped on down in there, and man, I tell you what. That's in 83-degree weather with high humidity. It's a tough thing to do, but this old man did it. We got on him. We were so close. I think I was probably 35 yards maybe from one at one point, but I didn't take the shot. Just, quite frankly, having fun trying to get it on film for y'all. So we got some films of, I guess, some hogs there. So I guess it's time to head back to camp. That was a lot of fun. Go fire up the grill and get some steaks going. So, folks, we'll be back after this commercial.
Hi folks, it's your old buddy Luke Clayton, and this ain't your grandpa's pump-up air gun. This is the Texan made by Air Force Air Guns, and it's the most powerful production air gun in the world. A few years ago I started shooting these when they first came out. I actually had a chance to test. They didn't really need any testing, but to shoot one of the 10 prototypes when it first came out. Now this is the improved model. This tank pressures up to 3,625 psi. This gun will develop, I believe it's 750 foot-pounds of energy shooting a 520 grain bullet. So this is your big daddy of air guns. If you want to get into hunting or shooting air guns, you don't have to shoot a 520 grain bullet. I shoot a Nielsen specialty ammo bullet I think it's 340 grains. But here you go. Check these out online. You can go to airforceairguns.com and check them out. But this is the one I've hunted with a lot. I've probably killed 30 hogs and a bunch of exotics, and I'm going to get after the deer here in Texas this year with it. airforceairguns.com. Well, folks, turkey season is here. It's actually next week. I'm going to be heading down to the Dale River Ranch, which is in Palo Pinto County, to hunt some turkey. But I thought it might be good for us to visit about turkey hunting, maybe give some tips and just talk about turkey hunting. Now, I've been hunting turkeys actually the first real turkey hunt I went on was in about 1978 here in Texas. I've killed a truckload of turkeys. It's one of my passions, is hunting turkeys in the springtime. I just love it. Now, I was fortunate to learn a lot about turkey hunting from one of the best turkey hunters that I think that I've ever seen, and I've hunted with some good ones, Bob Hood. Now, many of you will remember Bob. He was the editor, outdoor editor, for the Fort Worth Star-Telegram for about 42 years. But Bob was an awesome turkey hunter. Bob had a saying. He says, patience kills more turkeys than anything else. And what he's referring to is just stay put. If you're in an area where you know there's turkey, if there's droppings or dustings where you see them dusting or see the birds, stay put. Don't give up too quickly. Many times I'll set up, put a decoy out, and you'll start use the old chalk up my old box call. Have that call 2 or 3 times, hear an old gobbler out there, maybe 400 or 500 yards, way back there. and then give him about, don't be impatient, take your time. Give him about 6 or 8 minutes. So it's hard to, you're not going to be judging the time, but give him a few minutes, then textbook, he'll holler, he'll answer again. You'll hear him gobble a little closer, and then give him another 10 minutes. Don't overcall. That bird has got built-in GPS. He knows where you're at. I'm telling you, from 500 yards, I think he could come within eyesight of where you're at, or where he thinks that hen is at. But calls is something that, this is actually an old HS Strut box call. I've used it for years. You can make all the calls that you need. You do not have to be a turkey calling champion to call turkeys. That's a lot of people think they have to sound like the guys that wins the championships. Not so. If you can make this sound, you can call turkeys. Now, granted, with a slate call or a diaphragm, when they get up close, you can put the little putts and purrs in there and entice them in sometimes. But usually, if a gobbler's hot, that'll bring him in. Gosh, I've got a better decoy than this, but I've used. You would not believe this old hen decoy. I bet it's 10 years old, but just put it on a stake, set it up out there. Some people use a Jake and 2 hens. 1 hen decoy will usually get the job done. Something else that I know you've read, if you are not a seasoned turkey hunter, camouflage. I put the gloves on, I put a face mask on, camouflage from head to toe. And as my buddy, the late Bob Hood, used to say, be still. Back up to a tree. Something I do that'll help you. You can buy the camo burlap real cheap at Walmart or wherever. I get a roll of that, and it's about 40 inches high, something like that. On the top of that burlap, I will thread a piece of cord through there, and then I'll have the loops on the end of that burlap. When I get to a spot I want to hunt, I'll back up. This is in certain situations where there's not a lot of built-in cover. Wrap that around and use a bungee strap to hook it to a bush or something, and build you a little quick makeshift blind. So that's a good tip. As far as shells go, this is my old turkey hunting pouch right here. I carry just about everything I need in it. Just a good heavy load of number 4s will get the job done. This is some Hornady called heavy magnums. Actually, these are 3s. No, they're 4s. There are 4s. But regardless, you can kill turkeys up close with a heavy load of 7.5. But as a rule, you want to go with number 4 shot. It's hard to beat. Pattern that shotgun. I've missed turkeys because of these tight choke shotguns that you buy today, or the chokes that you can put on them, extra full. My gosh, at 20 yards, some of those things have a pattern like that. Make sure and pattern that shotgun, and then look at the same sight picture. Determine where to hold is what I'm trying to say on that bird. You want to aim I aim in the center of the neck, about halfway from the top of the head to the body of the turkey. The killing shots are always head and neck shots. You don't want to shoot one in the body. Folks, I hope these little tips have helped you a little bit. I'm getting ready to go turkey hunting, and honestly, next thing I'm going to do is take that gun out. I've got a tight choke on it, and I missed a turkey up in Oklahoma, an eastern bird, with that shotgun, simply because I didn't pattern it. The bird wasn't 20 yards away, but I bet my shot pattern was there, and it was probably about that much over his head. Hope it helped you a little bit, folks. I'm going to go turkey hunting. Folks, as an old outdoors writer, I have used lots of products. Smoke and Tex electric smokers, the best smokers that you can find. This is Diz and this is Scott, my buddies. Diz, tell them how they can learn more about Smoke and Tex.
Yeah, obviously the #1 source of information is going to be our website. It's got hundreds of recipes, it's got helpful guides, it's got all of our models and our accessories listed there. Of course, we have a phone number, 888-922-1511, and we'll actually answer our own phones.
That's true. And This, the main thing, the easy way, smokingtex.com. You can learn all about it.
Correct. And of course, we're on all the social media, Instagram, Facebook, etc. So take a look at us whenever you can, and whatever social media you'd like, and we look forward to working with you.
And folks, here is some of this very, very tasty barbecue that's cooked in my Smoking Tex for about 13 hours. So real easy to make. You can make this out of venison, pork, you know, beef. I guess we'd call it pulled pork if we actually use pork, but beef, venison, any kind of game meat, elk. Very, very tasty. I'll go into great detail on how I prepped it and how we turned it into some really tender barbecue. Well, folks, it is your old buddy Luke Clayton, and did that barbecue look tasty or what? I tell you, this is some of the best, to me, one of the best ways to cook meat that there is barbecue. I want to share with you how I cooked it and the type meats that I like to cook. Now, this was a beef roast right here. It could just as easily have been wild venison, you know, game meat, exotic meat, wild pork. The whole key is cooking it slow and with moisture. Now, the way I cook this roast, and it is beef, but I put an aluminum pan and I put it in the pan and I smoked it about 3 hours with hickory wood. And folks, before I gave this the 12 hours or 13 hours smoking, I gave it a generous rub of Rodax coffee rub, and of course I put some of the best of Texas barbecue sauce on it. But that's as simple recipe as I could come up with. Just basically slow cooking, moisture, wrap it in foil. You can turn a venison roast into every bit as tasty as this one right here. You know, as old Gus on Lonesome Dove said, I don't know what you can do with the information, folks, but here it is. So hopefully in your freezer you can, if you're going to have some game meat, I'll bet you might even have some venison steaks. You can use those and cook them just like I did this and have some awesome barbecue. Hang in there, folks. This stay-at-home ruling won't be forever. But while you are at home, try some of this outdoor cooking. I guarantee you'll enjoy it and your whole family will eat well.
From Luke and I, we want to say thank you for joining us, and we want to look forward to seeing you right back here again next week on A Sportsman's Life. Until then, be safe in the outdoors.